All right, welcome everybody to the Don't Panic Roundtable, talking about navigating the new California mandate for 96 hours of emergency power for skilled nursing facilities. We very much appreciate you taking the time to join us. We'll have some speakers followed by a roundtable and time for questions from you. If you have questions, please put them in the chat box. We'll be monitoring that. And again, thank you for your time. First, I want to introduce our three speakers. Jamie Schick is a senior electrical engineer and technical lead with California's Department of Healthcare Access and Information. He's charged with maintaining and updating existing electrical system codes and standards-based, including the new codes for AB 2511 for skilled nursing facilities. As part of the team that formulated and will be issuing PIN 74, he is a content expert on the requirements for the implementation of alternate resources of power to maintain safe temperatures, life-saving equipment, and oxygen generating devices for skilled nursing facilities.
Thank you, David. The new bill, this new requirement we're talking about originated as a bill, Assembly Bill 2511. And 2511 basically is requiring for this new alternate power resource to be on site. And this was signed into law on September 29th by Governor Gavin Newsom. Next slide, please. As a background, SNFs previously are only required to have 6 hours of on-site fuel storage for emergency power systems, and cooling has not been a requirement as far as emergency backup on our existing SNFs. Next slide. The PIN 74 was put together by HCI to help at the direction of the governor to incorporate this into code. And we can move on to the next slide. Essentially, the law introduced a couple new terms, one of which not new, but was undefined, was the temperature. So we've identified in the PIN that the temperature range is going to be required to be maintained as between 71 and 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Life-saving equipment, we included a definition, includes but not limited to ventilators, AEDs, crash carts with defibrillators, intravenous therapy equipment, feeding pumps, IV pumps, nebulizer machines, suction equipment, and medication dispensing units. Oxygen generating systems are self-explanatory. Next. In order to for facilities to meet this, we're putting together a facility assessment, which can be accessed on our ePortal website. That'll be available on January 1, 2023. And there, the facility can identify their existing systems and any deficiencies and plans to resolve those deficiencies. Next slide. The compliance options. So we looked at if the electrical system needs to be revised. We have identified 3 different solutions. The one important thing I want to point out here is the bill didn't require that these systems be supported by emergency power that the code has dictated as specific requirements for. So we allow 3 options. One is to add to the emergency system of the existing facility. Other is to create a new legally standby system to back up these systems. And the other is a new healthcare microgrid to back up the entire site. Next slide. This is a quick sketch of the existing generator solution. If the existing generator has adequate capacity, loads could be transferred from the existing normal HVAC panel to the existing emergency panel, in which case all requirements of the new bill would be met, with the exception of the 96 hours. So the facility would have to work on the 96-hour requirement for their existing generator. Next slide. The second solution is a dedicated new backup power source that would back up the existing HVAC equipment, would be transferred to this new panel. Again, this new source would need to have 96 hours. The existing generator would need to have 96 hours of fuel, and the new system as installed would need to be seismically compliant. Next slide. And finally, the microgrid solution. This solution, you would be able to install a new microgrid, which parallels with the normal system and backs up the entire facility. The microgrid itself would need to be seismically certified and provide for the 96 hours of fuel. In this case, the entire site would be backed up, and you would not need to go back and adjust this current fuel requirements for existing generator. Next slide. So just a quick analysis. The new resources to meet this build's requirement are going to need to be specially certified, seismically certified, and have 96 hours of on-site fuel storage. We've identified in the PIN that a life-saving and oxygen generating would need to come back up the power in the event of a power failure within 10 seconds. And leave it up to the engineers to determine the time required to bring the HVAC back online to maintain the temperature. As a summary, this new law requires all California SNFs to have on-site power source. New equipment, especially site certified in 96 hours. The first step would be to conduct an on-site power facility assessment. And we have a form that will be posted to our website to implement that. Timeline of this new law is compliance by January 1, 2024. Thank you.